So welcome everybody in the night of the 16th of October in the hybrid IKT Congress 2021. Today is the 28th of September 2021. It's 12 o'clock and I'm Verona Voigt and this is Professor Dr. Dirk Boll, Christie's London, the President of Europe, UK, Middle East and Africa. Today we want to talk about NFT and can NFT be green? It's about the unbalanced energy consumption and the loss of trust in crypto world. And it's about what we can do to develop the crypto world of the future. Our aim is to help ending the confusion about NFT, blockchain and cryptocurrency and crypto art market. So let's maybe have a look on the climate change discussion of the last year. So in September 2020, the artist Memo Akten published his research about the energy guzzling blockchain technology. And after a short time, his website has been disrupted due to attack. Flash Art published several articles about green NFT, and we tried to invite Memo Akten and Jason Bailey to talk with us, but they did not respond to my request to take part in this discussion. So go back to our little history of talking and discussing NFT. If I remember it right, we were in spring 2021, we were learning our vocabulary. So we tried to explain to our friends what NFT could be and what's a blockchain and what is crypto, and the eyes always get bigger, and so maybe we lost friends, but we get new friends for sure. And in summer, maybe Dirk, you remember that we had a short conversation about NFT and the carbon footprint, and I was just a little wondering what you said, because maybe I had another picture in the back of my mind. You said, or you wrote me something very simple. Maybe I can read it, or do you wanna? Or do you remember what you wrote?
Well, I wonder whether you're referring to the way kind of we are auctioning off NFT-based work or digital works that are represented by an NFT. Is it this was what you're referring to?
No, I was just to remember. You said just a small side note. NFT purchase through a classic art market platform has advantage in terms of the energy balance, because with us all bidding steps except of the last one take place in our own platform. Only the final bidding step is entered into the blockchain. And I was thinking, yes, why not? Or yes, that's the reason why we are talking about green NFT, because yeah, so that's so simple and easy, and it brings out, it's only a contract, a smart contract. It's only few combinations of numbers, and it's not green or blue or red or black. It's just numbers. But when I talk to my friends about the new vocabularies, I was always thinking, I'm not sure if they think the NFT is in the artwork, or the NFT is like a USB stick or a token or something. But Christie's also, and this was what I had in the back of my mind when you advertise or just reported about the Beeple auction. You published also this number combination. And since then, I was happy that that I know what an NFT is now and don't need other metaphors. So, and then after that, we find pictures of these cute little spaces with wired computers in blockchain cabinets somewhere in China or Mumbai or I don't know where they are. They were also published, and when you see this and you know how hot computers could be, and if it's in a hot country, you can imagine what it means to have this amount of energy, these high energy bills. And so I was thinking, okay, maybe this discussion is a little bit hot. And then I think it was in April, Elon Musk came up with his Twitter and said, oh no, I don't like it. And then the crypto market dropped, In this time, I made a research about my first research, and I couldn't reach them because they fall in a deep depression. And so this was my first experience when I saw this is a quite nervous market, and lots of this is a show, and also the advocates of the Green NFT who support Memo Acton and his colleagues can't bring out a serious measurement methods, and on the same time, just lots of money was burned only of this Twitter post, and still now, I mean, when you Google Green NFT, there are myriads of entries, and I don't know, I couldn't read them all, but there is still the hope that behind Green NFT is no marketing company, but it is, and I don't like it. And then I'm just always happy to go on your website because you do, or Christie is doing something which is very important. It's these confidence building measures, and that's what we really, really have to do, because the future is crypto. And also, you know my opinion about the crypto art. It's wonderful. So, could you tell me a little bit, or give me a little bit of background of what's behind, or not behind, what's in your office, what's in Christie, what they were thinking, what they want to do, and what strategy they have long-term wise.
Well, to begin with, I think we started to think about digital art when we realized that the distribution of fine art was going to be digitized. And this is about 4 or 5 years ago. So we were setting up a project group, a little pilot of young people who understood technology much better than I do. And they were looking into this. I'm quickly understanding that working with digital art, you need to start with education. It sounds patronizing, but this is how our little daughter company, Christie Education, came into the game. And they were setting up a series of conferences starting in 2018. And we had a conference on blockchain, we had a conference on artificial intelligence, and we had 2 conferences on NFT. And as a result, Christie's was the first auction house to offer a work of art created by AI. This was the famous Count Bellamy, offered in autumn 2018. We were the first auction house to offer to our buyers to lock the final bidding step that actually defines the contract between the auction house and the buyer on blockchain. This was in autumn 2018 in New York, and since spring 2019 here in London. And then kind of the rest is history. We were the first auction house to dare bringing an NFT-based work or a digital work represented by an NFT to public auction, and that was the famous Beeple sale you already referred to. In a way, the knowledge part helped us, or created the trust of the management to dare doing it, because as you can imagine, when you are a brick and mortar auction house and you're dealing in objects, trading digital art, dealing with NFTs, kind of is quite a challenge when you think about due diligence, anti-money laundering law, compliance as such, etc., because your public, your audience is quite a different one, and that's exactly what happened. So we had to prepare. Our support functions, our legal team had to prepare, and in March 2021 we started. The announcement was met by great enthusiasm. We had decided, since the work had been consigned by the artist who was willing to be paid in crypto, we had initially decided to accept crypto for the so-called hammer price, but we were insisting on being paid in fiat for the auction commission as well as the VAT. Halfway through the online-only auction, we decided to change that because we realized this was not kind of meeting the tech scene's expectation, and we accepted to be paid ourselves in crypto, as well as offering the opportunity to pay the VAT in crypto. And this is how it came. The hammer fell. The buyer paid in dollars 69.3 million for the Beeple work. The work was paid in Ether, and we paid out the consignor in Ether. And at some point, at a clever point, thankfully, we reconverted Ether into dollars to pay the tax bill of that sale. So, and the rest is history. Last night, we were offering the first NFT auction ever in Asia. And with the outcome of last night's sale, Christie's has turned over in the past 7 months about $100 million in NFT-based works, or in digital art represented by an NFT. That's our little corporate history around it.
Yeah. Yeah, so this sounds very, relaxed.
Well, it's not.
Just like it should be. And so
yes and no. I mean, you will imagine that compliance is quite a different beast when you deal with the tech community, because one of the key elements here is that you understand who you are dealing with. Know your client is the code word here. And when you're dealing with anonymous investors pools, that is a bit more complicated. Also to assess who is it you are dealing with, who is the beneficiary or who are the beneficiaries, etc. And the question, what is publicly available in information, what is given, etc., etc. So I think unlike a traditional business that heavily relies on returning clients, there is a lot of prep work to be done in the NFT world.
Okay. So did you ever see your clients, or so?
Well, I never saw, kind of as a physical person, the buyers of the Beeple work. But you may remember from the media reports, the underbidder, Justin Sun, immediately kind of moved on to classic auctions. I mean, real live auctions, that is. And since he had not been able to buy the Beeple work, he bought a 1932 Picasso, an oil on canvas, as well as a Warhol self-portrait. And actually, I've met Justin and interviewed him. So the answer is no, not for the Beeple buyer, but yes for the underbidder.
Okay. So I remember I was a little bit upset in summer 2021, and that's also what the curators were thinking. Just the media launched the end of the intermediate art market, and it seems that in the orthodox crypto system, the intermediaries of the system, like galleries, owners, curators, and art associations or museums are to be abolished. So, and I was amazed that these declaration of war was apparently not even part to the protagonist of the traditional art market unnoticed. A new art market has established itself, and somehow you seem to want to sit out, or they want to sit it out, hoping that this phenomenon will sweep over the traditional art market like an unexpected storm. How does Christie's relate to these aggressive dissolution processes?
Well, I don't agree in a way. I don't see that as an aggression against classic art market systems. I think this is something very complementary, because what we found out is that the audience is kind of 90% different to our classic audience. And I don't think that a young artistic position, a young artist who works in the digital sphere is worried about an auction house selling whatever, Picasso prints or old master paintings. That's just a different world. I think if you think about participation in that process, the smart contract gives these artists a certain tool to influence kind of resales, as we know, as long as they happen on the same platform. And I think essentially that's of interest. It's not what the art industry kind of does alongside. And as I said, the audience is quite a different one. So the question is what is created and offered of interest or not? And who are the players who contribute to canonization in that field? Is it still the institutions? Who are the opinion leaders in that? So I would think it's less the distribution structure. It is more the canonization process that is kind of under pressure here.
Okay, I found in a thank you. Now this explained. I found just recently in Instagram post just this program which the curators project from Christie's, and I was thinking, oh yeah, that's a quite good event to bring traditional and crypto creators into a dialogue. Can you tell us a little bit how it works, or it was just recently that I read it? Maybe it's.
We only announced it a few weeks ago. It's a project around the next generation of curators as well as artists, and we are inviting. We have a committee, partly of Christie specialists, partly of externals, and these externals are museum people, curators, art critics, etc. And you can apply for funding essentially, and Christie's will arrange for you and pay for your exhibition. So we had quite a long list of curators applying for that funding, and we are establishing a platform for the next generation of curators to work with kind of their peers, their contemporaries in the artistic scene. And this is what is going to happen in January. So the winners of that little competition for curators, these curators or this curator, actually we have some groups applying, will deliver an exhibition of cutting-edge contemporary art at Christie's in London, in King Street, in January 2022.
Oh, that's quite exciting. Yeah, wonderful. Will it be also in the next year, so that we can apply for this?
Absolutely. I have to admit, this is really for the young generation. So my age would not be accepted.
And my age?
Well, you are much younger than I am, so you could give it a try.
Oh, you're very polite. Thank you very much. So we're coming to the last question. You know, it's the topic of the IKT Congress this year is interconnectivity, and so I read the quote here now from the website. Interconnectivity seems to be a crucial topic these days, with whom always, what are we connected? How can we stay in touch? How can we broaden our reach out, losing the intimacy of small gatherings? I experienced other things. What are you experienced in Corona times? Were we losing, or are we getting new friends?
Well, I think to begin with, the whole process of getting digital reconfirmed what we knew. So it reconfirmed what we liked. And this is the concept behind whatever Amazon, who recommends you all the time, what the algorithm understands you have been liking in the past. So this is more about your history rather than your future. And of course, that's an issue for all of us who like to meet new people, who like to see new art, who like to discover new artistic positions. Because it underlines your viewing history rather than challenging you with new things. So I would say it rather fosters established relationships than kind of presenting you to a new audience. That's my experience.
Okay, yeah, that's great. Could you win new customers or new clients?
Oh, plenty of, absolutely. But this is also about accessibility, and this is about what is on offer on what platform. And you can imagine that when your platform is brick and mortar, an auction house in a metropolitan city such as London, New York, Hong Kong, Paris, Milan, you name it, you have a certain audience, and when you then expand by whatever, sending out catalogs, printed catalogs, as we did for 150 years, emails, this and that, you can expand that audience. But if you move to an online-only platform that kind of offers items for a certain period of time, so time differences between continents don't play into it anymore, or to a far lesser degree, you widen your audience and the accessibility goes up. And this is what we realized. Also, the range of items we were starting to offer in 2020 was much wider. That's been normal because we weren't able to operate in our four walls. So we went online, and the market has responded very strongly. And through our online business, we are recruiting about 1/3 of new buyers each year since 2020.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So I see that Christoph is there, and I really would appreciate to let him in. But the last question to you, what is your favorite crypto artist?
Well, of course, I deeply admire what Lava Labs are doing, but I also have to admit that there is a certain line between a work of fine art, a digital artwork, and a tool. And I think that's an interesting line, because a lot of what we are currently seeing on the open markets, including the art market, by the way, aren't necessarily works of fine art, but are meandering around that borderline. Is it kind of a marketing piece? Is it an artwork? And I think Hakatao do a great job in that field. Every now and then I come across an NFT-based work or digital work done by a classic artist, and every now and then I happen to like that. It's interesting to see that artistic positions that are closer to the question of media. So what am I using? How am I communicating my artistic language, etc.? The more this is part of the artistic language, the better an NFT-based work actually functions, in my view.
Yeah. And do you have a crypto wallet?
I do indeed, because I wanted to find out how that is. I wanted to understand the process, and so I acquired a work I happen to like.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much, Dirk Boll from London. Yeah, so thank you for the conversation, and yeah, have a lovely afternoon.
Thank you for inviting me, and good luck.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.